Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Arcade Crusade. Today's video is just going to be a quick update on a new pickup I just got for the arcade. It's just going to be a quick overview, show you guys the condition that it's in, how much I paid for it, you know, everything like that. The game I picked up is actually a game that's been on my want list since I got into the hobby, and I'm very excited to have it down in the basement. But I picked up a Twilight Zone Pinball. This is, I'd say, probably in my top 3 all-time favorite pinball machines. I've wanted a Twilight Zone for a long time. I love Pat Lawler games, and I believe, you know, this is his masterpiece. Pat Lawler made games like Funhouse, Earthshaker, Whirlwind, just, you know, Addams Family, which is the best-selling pinball of all time. He made just amazing games, and I think this one's his masterpiece. I love the stop-and-go gameplay on it. I just love how methodical you have to be when you play it. The art's awesome, the playfield's awesome, everything about this game is awesome. But anyway, I picked this one up for $4,000, and I picked it up from a guy in Champaign, Illinois, which is 2 hours south from where I'm at. And if you know anything about Champaign, it's a small town that is a college town. It's where University of Illinois is at, but this was more in like downtown Champaign, not near the campus. So basically, the story is this guy had this pinball since 1993, the year that it came out, and the guy owned a gas station. He had this game in his gas station from 1993 to 1997. It was in a small town. It didn't get a ton of play. Playfield is actually in really good shape. Like, I cannot find one area, like even the shooter lane isn't that bad. But I really cannot find one area of high wear on this thing. The power field looks great. Gumball machine's a little dirty. Ramps are a little dirty. You know, the typical. He replaced the clock board with an LED clock board. But anyway, a friend of mine from Iowa hit me up, and he told me, hey, there's this guy 2 hours south from you. It's too far of a drive for me, but I know you've been looking for a Twilight Zone for a really long time. He's got one. He's had it since 1993, and it's not turning on. So usually with games, they normally don't just not turn on. You know, arcade games, pinballs, usually they'll turn on, they'll act wonky. But yeah, it was just completely dead. So I figured, you know, either the filter's bad or the line fuse is just, you know, the line fuse blew, something shorted on the game, you know, maybe the 50 volts is shorted. Something was bad, but it couldn't have been something crazy. So I went to go, you know, the guy sent me some pictures. I looked at it. Playfield was super clean in the pictures. The back box, pretty clean. He did replace the CPU board with a Rotten Dog, which I cannot complain because the Rotten Dog actually sockets the RAM. So I can put an NVRAM in this thing, and I don't have to worry about hooking up a battery pack. I can just throw an NVRAM in it. But everything else is in here. The oops, we ran out of transistors board. Yeah, but all the boards are in here. They look clean. All the wiring's clean. It doesn't even have any burnt up connectors. The GI connector is starting to brown a little bit, so we may change that, but it hasn't burnt up, so pretty happy with it. The back glass I have off right now because I was messing around in the back box, but I just cleaned it up. The back glass is in amazing shape. I just cleaned it up with some Windex, some Goo Gone. It had a sticker on it, but just, you know, completely clean that up. Cabinet itself, you know, aside from the legs, you know, a little bit of cabinet peeling where the legs go. It's got some fade because I presume in the gas station it was sitting by a window. But yeah, the guy had it in his house from 97 until the present. It wasn't turning on for the last 2 years, but yeah, so I pay the guys $4,000. You know, I felt $4,000 was a risk I could take. Figure out what's wrong with it. We'll get it up and running. Won't cost me that much money to get it running. So I get the game completely wrapped up on its legs. The way I usually, we'll walk over to my Rocky and Bullwinkle. The way I usually wrap games is I put the head down, and then I start wrapping the game with the legs on, and I get it fully wrapped. And then what I do is I take off the back legs. That way the head is down, the game is wrapped, the back legs are on the ground, and then I lift the front legs, I lift the front of the game up, put it on its back, then take the legs off. So I go to do that, and I'm trying to get the back legs off on this thing, and the back legs aren't coming off. And no matter what I do, I'm trying to loosen them, and I'm cranking a socket on them, and I'm like, man, these things have to be stripped. Somebody must have put a lock nut on these or something. So I had to completely unwrap the entire game, and I actually look inside the cabinet, and all 4 legs had lock nuts on them, and the bolts were stripped out, and the inner leg brackets were stripped out. So I had to lift the playfield, I had to take the glass off, lift the playfield, get those lock nuts off, and the whole time I got this thing mounted up on 2 stools, just trying not to drop this thing on the floor in this guy's garage. I finally get the legs off, and then, you know, I wrap it up, get it in the car, get it home, whatever. I leave it in the garage. The next day I bring it downstairs, and, you know, I go to plug it in. Doesn't turn on. It's, you know, completely dead, just like the guy said. And I actually look inside the coin door here, and I'll show you guys exactly where I'm talking about. But right inside the coin door, this black fuse holder, see if I can get my finger, right there, that black fuse holder, it's got an 8 amp line fuse in it, kind of screws in like a pill cap. It was unscrewed. And I'm thinking, no way is that the reason that this game is not turning on. So I take it out, I push the fuse in its holder, I test the fuse with my multimeter, it's testing good. I screw it back in, plug the game in, and it turns right on. And I'm thinking, no way, you know, I just got a working Twilight Zone for $4,000. And, you know, I played a couple games on the ground. Obviously the ball's super slow. It's got a couple opto issues with the gumball machine, so I'll have to sort those out. Hopefully it's just dirty optos and I just clean them. I won't have to replace them, we'll see. But I couldn't believe that it turned on and it was just an 8 amp fuse. So guys, don't be afraid to pick up dead games, and don't ever do any troubleshooting at their house. You got to get there, look at the game, make sure everything's there, and just say, okay, here's your money, and put it in the car. Because if I looked at the game at the guy's house, I would have noticed, like I would have noticed right away the fuse was unscrewed. I would have turned it, plugged it in. The guy said, all right, well, I want $6,000 now. So never troubleshoot a game at someone's house. You know, wait till you get home to do it. But I already have brand new inner brackets from Pinball Life, so we're gonna put these inside the cabinet in a video coming up. The game was missing the back box bolts. We got those as well. We got a lock for the coin door, a lock for the back box. We got brand new legs and leg levelers, so it's gonna have nice brand new shiny legs, brand new leg bolts. We got brand new pinballs. We got Cliffies for the scoop in the rocket and the switch slot. Trying to think what else we got. We got Titan rubbers, and we got NVRAM, you know, new flashers, just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. And then we got an entire box of LEDs from Comet Pinball. So I'm still waiting on one more thing to come. I ordered a backboard decal for the back of the game, and it basically matches, you know, it's got the basically got all the sparkles on it, it's got the gumball machine, the eyeball, E equals MC squared, it's got all of that, and it's a backboard decal for the back of the game. It's gonna look awesome. I even thought about doing sideboard decals on this one. It does have a scratch right there that I'm gonna have to touch up with some black paint. But a lot of people say Twilight Zone is pretty tight in its cabinet, and if you put sideboard decals on, it'll scrape them up. But I need to print out new instruction cards for it. There's a guy on Pinside that has awesome ones that basically continue the stripe design here, and it matches like perfectly. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much have all the parts that I need, and hopefully we'll get, you know, I'll be posting some new videos working on this. The first thing we're gonna do is put those inner leg brackets in and just go from there. We'll hopefully get it on its legs, and then we can actually start working on it, figure out the opto issues, start doing LEDs, doing rubbers, put the NVRAM in. We'll do everything, but you know, I'm very happy to have this one in the basement. I've been looking for a long time, and at the price I got it for, you know, I could not pass up on this thing. I love this game, and I'm very happy I got it. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll be putting out some new videos working on this, and then I actually finished the Q*bert project, so I'll be doing an overview on everything I did for that. I wanted to film a whole video series on Q*bert, but I was on a time crunch and I just really could not get it done. I was on a time crunch. I had a bunch of people over for Thanksgiving and I needed to get the game done in time. So unfortunately I didn't have enough time to film a full video on it, but I'll do an overview using the power block we build, everything we did. I'll do a full overview video on the Q*bert. And then I actually picked up another game. I got it for a pretty good deal, all original, another game that was completely dead. The monitor had vertical collapse. I completely rebuilt it, so we'll be doing a video on another new pickup. But for now, we're mainly going to be focusing on Twilight Zone. But yeah, I mean, that's a December update in the arcade, and we're going to be plugging away at these winter projects. Luckily, I have no games in the garage right now. Everything's down in the basement. And the only thing that's on hold right now, I got to paint the Q*bert coin door, and it's just too cold to do it. So probably wait till the spring to do that. But everything's down here, and we're just going to be doing, literal, restore on the Twilight Zone, and then little tinkering, and all my games will be up and running, which is something I haven't had in quite a while. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll start working on the Twilight Zone soon. Thanks.